In this video, we will show you how to operate the Nanodrop spectrophotometer, specifically demonstrating how this equipment can be used to measure concentration of nucleic acid samples. The Nanodrop spectrophotometer can be used to directly measure the concentration and purity of protein, DNA, or RNA in a sample. When working with DNA or RNA, it's important to always keep the samples on ice and wear gloves to prevent sample degradation. To open the Nanodrop software, click on the ND1000 icon. Today we'll be working with nucleic acid, so let's select the nucleic acid option. The Nanodrop should be gently wiped down with a Kim wipe and some DD water. Now we're ready to use the Nanodrop. First, using a pipette min P2 or P20, pipette 1 microliter of RNase-free water onto the sensor pedestal of the Nanodrop, fully covering it without generating any bubbles. Please note that any volume between 1 microliter to 2 microliters is acceptable. Then gently pull down the Nanodrop arm onto the drop of liquid. Select OK on the computer and this will initialize the equipment. Next, we can take the blank reading. To blank the Nanodrop, pipette 1 to 2 microliters of the solution used to elute your DNA or RNA sample onto the sensor pedestal and gently lower the Nanodrop arm. Then click blank to read. When the reading is complete, lift up the Nanodrop arm and clean the sensor pedestal with the Kim wipe. Please note, the Nanodrop requires reblanking after every 10 sample readings. Now we're ready to read the sample. Pipette 1 to 2 microliters of your DNA or RNA sample onto the sensor pedestal and gently lower the Nanodrop arm. Go to the drop-down menu and select either DNA or RNA depending on your sample. In this example, we're using DNA. Then click Measure to read. When finished, clean the sensor pedestal gently with Kim wipes. Repeat this step for additional samples. Name your sample by typing in the sample ID box. Click Show Report and export to Excel or copy to your lab notebook. Here is an example of a DNA reading. The ratios 260/280 and 260/230 are especially important. The 260/280 ratio is used to determine protein contamination of a nucleic acid sample. The 260/230 ratio indicates presence of organic contaminants. For pure DNA and RNA, the 260/280 ratio should be within the range of 1.8 to 2.1. The closer it is to 2.1, the more ideal, because this indicates that the sample is not protein contaminated. As for the 260/230 ratio, any value lower than 1.8 will indicate significant contamination, while pure samples should have a value close to 2.0. As mentioned, the Nanodrop spectrophotometer can also be used for protein concentration measurement. An example can be found in the caseinate solution video, which will be linked above in this video and in the description box below. When you're finished with everything, clean the Nanodrop with a Kim wipe and some DD water. Store the Nanodrop by inserting a piece of folded Kim wipe between the arm and sensor pedestal. Thank you for watching.